Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very late Voice from the Baltic Star. I do apologise, it is down to my family life and a child who struggles going to bed. But thank you so much for joining us. You may notice there are four boys tonight, not four candles, four boys. And we are playing our exciting new game. I think it's exciting anyway, you may not. At least two of us in this room think it's exciting. And we're playing. Yeah, exactly. The other two, not so much. We're playing our new game called The Villages, and it's proper session one. It's quite exciting. It might be quite short tonight, maybe just an hour, but it'll give you a taster of how things work, and you never know. There might be all sorts of shenanigans in that time. So, like I said, we could play about an hour. So we'll go breakless if that's okay for everyone. Then, if you need to vanish off, just vanish off, and we'll work something out. For those of you in chat, you are very welcome. Whether it's your first time or your thousandth time, feel free to lurk or chat, whichever is up to you. If you chat, things can become canon. Lee's in. How's it doing, Lee? An absolute pleasure to have you here.
Lee.
What a joy! What a joy to have a true creator in our midst.
Mm.
Oh, all those hours I got to spend watching him craft his own masterpiece. It's quite humbling to have you here with our little corner of Britain. So thank you. For anyone there's ways to spend points. Click on the sun and have a look at what takes your fancy, if anything does, or save your points for another night. Either way. It's a brief introduction tonight because we need to get started, but I'll quickly introduce the table, as it were, and then we'll move from there. My name is Luke. Hello. I am tonight playing whatever we're going to call the GM. That's something we need to come up with, isn't it?
Yeah,
The Agatha Christie of
the town crier.
the town crier.
Town crier's good.
Now stick to
Good at
the plot, or I will start crying. Don't go off the map. I haven't drawn the rest yet.
Who's the highest status person in the village?
That I'm not
Like
going to
it.
tell you for sure.
Well, their housekeeper.
Right, exactly. So
That's
yes,
the character.
indeed. So yes, I'm Luke. Let's go around. Let's go anti-clockwise. When I introduce you, please tell me who you play. We'll keep it short and sweet. So below me is my brother from another mother, the Floofmeister General, the housewife's favourite. He is the wonderful Ewan. Always a pleasure having with us. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hello, Luke. I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
I'm living the dreams. I always am, especially when you're around. It just makes me a little bit happier. It adds 8% to my day. Who do you play in our wonderful adventure? Ewan?
In our wonderful adventure, I am playing Arthur McBride, the man with Scottish heritage, hailing from St Philip's Point, gamekeeper, metal detectorist, and kilt wearer. Lots of wool, ready to get damp. Because I know you love damp wool.
Oh, don't, you're upsetting me. Does he have one of those big cable knit sweaters with the old folded over collar, so that gets particularly wet in the wintertime?
He does, yeah. He has a nice light grey cable knitted sweater, jumper, whatever you want to call it. Kilts with the McBride colours. Formal kilts, formal tartan, not the hunting for this specific occasion. But normally when he's game kimping, he'll wear the slightly darker in coloured hunting tartan, and long wool socks with a couple of flashes of the tartan pinned underneath their folds.
Oh, keep talking. If Spez was in chat, it'd be too excited right now. Big fan
right
of Claire's
here.
description. Exactly.
Very good. Thank you for wearing a costume.
Oh,
My pleasure.
Speaking of Spez, let's go diagonally down that way to. There we go. The finger's not going through the gap, but I'm trying. It is our North American correspondent, the bringer of all things culture and all things joy to our lives. My most hated foe in all of roleplay.
That's true.
It is the wonderful Spez. Good evening, Spez, and how are you?
Thank you very much. I am doing well. I'm well into my Christmas shopping. It's been very satisfying so far. And if you don't mind me plugging a bit, Luke,
Hmm.
this coming Thursday, I'm going to be playing yet another. I'm going to be GMing yet another
What?
Euro
Ooh,
100 Goblins with a seasonal twist. It
Oh.
is on in Santa's Workship,
Ooh.
and that's on Ready
nice.
Shadows channel. It's always a good time. Lee, if you want to sign up, good to see you. It'll be fun. And
Nice.
yeah, so I'm doing well. I'm really anticipating a lot of fun things for the holidays, including this game.
Fantastic. Now, we've played 100 Goblins, and we're a fan of 100 Goblins on this channel.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
if you do get time spares, post the links anywhere. And
Mm.
absolutely,
yes,
absolutely.
brilliant. Thank you. But
Um,
but but while
and
we're
I'm
all,
playing.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
this. I'm excited about it. So, who are you playing in our
I
Villages adventure?
Yes, I'm playing Bob Lewis, the elderly church organist for St. James. He is an inveterate gossip. He just really enjoys. He is not even ashamed of it. Like he'll call it gossip. It's not. It's fine. It's how you get things done. He's also a member. He has also clairvoyant as his hobby. He's a member of society, of course he is, and he tends to get along well with annoying people. But he's not annoying.
Oh, he's definitely not annoying. There's nothing he's done so far that's in any way annoying.
No, he's about 71. He's kind of solidly built, but he's got like that look where he's kind of like bony, where the muscle has kind of contracted into his body. So he's got a little bit of a wing, you know, and it shows. He always wears a short sleeve button up shirt. It's white and it has a small blue, pale blue pattern, but it's always different. There's a cardigan and mom jeans.
Oh, yeah, I remember him now.
Nice.
Hmm.
What a model of a gentleman he is. And speaking of models of gentlemen, directly next to me there is the smartest man in any room. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence, and I've never seen him in any form of smartware whatsoever.
Nope.
He's done enough in life to not have to do it again. He is the incomparable Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Yes, very much looking forward to this. We've been working on this a very long time, and it's nice to see everything coming together. And you've made it look so pretty.
Well, it needs to be pretty when I'm surrounded by pretty people.
And me.
Well, you bring a certain something, and
He still has his beard.
Gravitas.
gravitas.
Or possibly just gravity.
Gravitas. Oh, speaking of which, what gravitas do you bring within your character?
I play somebody called Andy Lyon, who is younger than me, but not young, and who is a postman in living in St. James, which is the village by the coast in our little area of Southbourne.
It's a beautiful place. It's what I've been doodling recently. I can picture him now. I can pretty much guess which house you'd take from what you've said about it. It's wonderful. But dear friends, tonight we don't find ourselves in St James or St Philip's Point, or indeed in the USA. We find ourselves in Waltham Bridge, which is a village to the northeast of Southbourne on the rail line, linking together Poole and Bristol from different directions. And we're here because it is a very special day. It's Sunday, the 16th of August, 2020, and it's the Waltham Bridge Beer Festival. You see, Waltham Bridge for a very long time has had a brewery that was founded hundreds of years ago, despite the pub only being there for less than 50 years. A terrible mistake on the brewery's part. But they're making up for it now. And they run a beer festival every year, and that's what we've fallen into. The roads are rammed full of stalls and people alike. Many outsiders, as we like to call them, from outside of Southbourne, have been arriving at Waltham Bridge train station over the weekend, disembarking and swarming down the main high street into the tiny village. along the Rupes, the Roman Road, Church Lane, Riverside Way, Pool Road, everything. There's even people bathing in the river. Can you believe it? The shenanigans happening. The atmosphere is good. It is early afternoon. The sun is high and bright in the sky. Drunkenness is off the chart. There are Morris dancers. There are all sorts of performers. There's even jugglers. There's stilt walkers. There's children's balloon animal makers. And where our heroes are sitting, on the banks of the river, on the tables at Cafe Ole, there has just finished a rather splendid performance by a flamenco dancer, ably supported by our dear friend Arthur McBride for a short time. At the tables, we've met already the local priest, Catholic priest, Father Noel Livingston. We've met a member of the WI, Charlotte Spencer, who both of which know Bob, of course, as the church organist. And our friends are sitting there, tucking into, I don't know, how many drinks down would you say you are, Arthur?
Probably 3.
3. You, Andy?
About the same, I would think.
And you, Bob?
Oh, you know, I like to keep up with people, keep them company. So the glass of water is still there. It's still
That's
tapped.
exactly. Totally untouched, but it's as if it just it being there keeps the hangover away.
Uh-huh.
Like...
Well, it keeps the wife happy. He has the glass of water.
Exactly. So when he gets home and she asks, yes, I have water.
Had it the whole night.
Exactly. Exactly. The glass never got empty. So as they are halfway into their third pint, a local policeman runs up to their table. He says, Mr. McBride, Mr. Lyon, Mr. Lewis, DCI Cornwall said you'd be here. We need your help. Could you please accompany me to the Brewer's Tap?
No.
The Brewer's Tap. That sounds like an excellent place. We should go there.
As good as any.
If you're expecting a fine pint at the Brewer's Tap right now, I wouldn't expect one. So maybe get your drinks in plastics. Bring them along.
Okay. Mine is a nice dark ale, you understand, despite it being a hot summer's day. So you know, to the untutored eye, it might look like a soft drink, but it isn't.
Splendid. Okay, now please, let's head off. And you sort of see him sort of hold his arm out for you to head back in. With the way the stalls are, it's almost easy to go into Cafe Ole and out again, if you're willing to join him.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. We could squeeze through the crowds, yeah. Because inside it's quite busy, isn't it?
Oh, he sort of taps his helmet. He says, "This comes in handy sometimes." He says, "Now follow me."
The helmet or what's inside it?
A bit of both, but we're hoping that what's inside your heads today will help more.
I will whisper to the other two as we follow the police officer. I'm quite glad we're not reliant on what's inside his. But I will whisper it, you understand.
Purposefully for him not to hear? Or
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. He does not hear. And there's a hubbub, there's quite some excitement. There's sort of the dancer. She was an attractive flamenco dancer. She sort of made her way back inside and people are sort of flocking around her, offering her drinks and such like.
Sure.
So you can get out quite easily. He's sort of the sight of a 6'4" police officer, followed by 3 other gentlemen. People do sort of make a bit of space, and you find yourself back out on the street.
Bob has pretty sharp elbows now that the flesh is taken away from them, you know.
Oh, he's the
The little
perfect.
knob one.
Oh, he's the perfect age for those little sharp elbows. Oh, like razor blades in there. Um, as you make your way out onto the street, um, he sees. Yes, Ewan, thank you. You sort of hear a bit of a kerfuffle across the road outside Flowers by Rose that had been opened, despite she's got a stall out the front, as a lot of the shops do, so that people don't need to go inside the store. So there's a load of flowers. She sort of laid out a lot of the hops to make the headwear and some little flower displays that people can have. But there seems to be a bit of an argument. Two men pushing each other around, arguing over some woman about who's going to give her the flower. So the police officer nods to the three of you and says, "If you excuse me, gentlemen, it looks like duty calls. Are you okay to head straight to the Brewer's Tap to meet with DCI Cornwall?"
Oh yes. Sir.
At once.
Of course, yeah.
And the police officer vanishes off towards the kerfuffle, leaving the three of you on the street.
Are we outside the Brewer's Tap, effectively?
You're outside Cafe Olay.
Oh,
Still.
we haven't got that
We
far.
haven't
Okay,
got that far yet. God, how fast do you think we play, Ben?
Yeah, true.
We're only going to get as far as the Brewer's Tap, remember?
Exactly.
There is a sort of back route to the Brewer's Tap. So how about we wander over the bridge and then hang a left into Riverside Way?
Absolutely, 100%.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, shall we, for a bit of fun and games, shall we make a roll at this point?
By all means.
I think it might be
As long
quite
as it
fun.
isn't, do you fall into the river off the bridge?
Oh. In that case...
How many tractors did it buy with this week?
I'd expect nothing but.
Too early?
Yeah, a bit too
Is
early
this
for
the dog
tractors.
handling roll? Oh, tractor.
Tractor.
Tractor handling
Tractor.
roll.
Oh, but as two of you
Right,
can.
let's do it.
As two of you can, at least.
I can't.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you ever feel a bit inadequate around the other two when they start talking about all their tractor tales? Okay, so let's take a roll now. I'm trying to find. Oh man, I put the graphic up with the character selection. I'm going to have to put it in here instead because I wanted to have it. Bear with me a second, because I'd like to put the character sheet up on screen because I want people to see it for the first few times we do it, if that makes sense. So bear with me, Cargen, and let's find the image. But each of you, can you start gathering some dice together, and I shall tell you exactly what you need. Right, where are we? Character generation, character sheet. That looks beautiful. Let's go with that one. Okay. Here's a sheet for people that are looking. So if you're watching for the first time, and I'm not going to do this every time, but because it's our first official session 1 roll, the character sheet will look something like this, that they filled it in, and they've each got some different skills they've developed through running through their childhood into their teenage years into their adulthood. And depending on what skills they have, which follows a tree, like a development tree, they'll be rolling d10s, d8s, d6s, and d4s. Now, as you make your way, there's large crowds and there's lots of people. Now, for you to make your way smoothly there, I'm going to let you choose a way you want to do, because there's going to be people coming up to you, there's going to be people barging into you. Now, you can choose whether to make your way through good banter, whether through good etiquette, or in any other way. I want you to pick something. You can look at your own skills, and you can, for this one, you can pick your strength. I'd like you to describe to me briefly how you're going to try and make your way through the crowds in any order you want.
Okay, so Bob is going to go about by schmoozing and committeeing his way through the crowd. Oh, it's so good to see you. I can't wait to see you at this later appointment that we have together, and we can talk about this thing.
Pressing the flesh as drunkards leer up to you. I like it.
And even if he has to, like, vaguely press it as, and it's like, oh, gotta hit the bathroom, like, vague gesture toward his belly area, like he's got to go, like, oh, gotta head into the. But it's
Oh,
great seeing you.
I love it. I love it. In which case,
And a demand for something that he's going to expect when
Yes.
he sees them there. If they're really looking like they want to hold on to him, like, oh, you're going to have that thing ready for me.
I love it. I love it. In which case,
Carrot
I'll
and
let,
stick.
I'll let you have this. You can have a D10 because everyone gets a D10 for being a human.
Okay.
It's the most human dice after all. You can have a D8 for every villaging box you've got coloured in.
Okay.
You can have a D6 for, you said schmoozing, although they don't follow the same line. I'll go for it this time. You can have a D6 for every schmoozing. And you can have a D4 for committees. And
Okay. For every, sorry, 6. And what was it? And one for committee?
committees, yep. And all you got to do, if you hit a 1 or you hit 2 2s, you succeed.
I got 2 1s.
Whoa! Now this was an added.
Does that look correct? Does this roll look correct to you?
To have a look. A
I
1.
have 2 in villaging.
Yes,
Which is the D8.
that's perfect. That's 100% perfect. So
Excellent.
you've
So I have
got
two
2 1s, and as we were talking about this on Thursday. So what you can do is because it's such a good roll, and you've brought such good schmoozing skills to those around you, you can add yourself a boon in local trust.
Oh.
So, to whichever the bigger dice is. So if you don't have a D10 boon yet, you can put a tick in your D10. If you've got a D10, you can have a D8 boon.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to add that
I
as sort
don't
of
have
a
the
bonus.
D10 yet.
Yeah, perfect. So
Yeah.
and you can use that at any time when you're dealing with local folk. You can call in a boon, and you'll get an extra D10. You use that once, and then you delete it after. Okay.
Okay.
Right, Ewan, how are you going to make your way through? Are you going to make it through as well as he did?
I don't know. Hopefully, there's a lot of options here that I feel as though I could go with. Arthur, of course, has great understanding. It feels like a very relaxing event for him. It's a social event. It's got the formal tartan on, and he very much is familiar or able to read the lay of the land, which I like to think in this occasion fits into the movement of the people and being able to anticipate their moves and see where there might be some little gaps that he can make his way through.
I'll tell you what, I'll take it. So lay of the land for those watching is linked to relaxing
So generous.
and it's linked to farming. Well, it's a relaxing time, and farmers like their drink, and that's the point. That lay of the land is to looking at the way that the land and the people work. So yeah, you can take a D10 for being Scottish. You can take a D8 for farming. You can take D6s for relaxing, and any D4s for lay of the land.
Oh yes, it was either that or I was going to try and use my dog to round people up. Use my go with dog handling.
As long as you didn't use your firearms.
Yeah, cool. There is a 1, but it's just a 1-1, and then lots of 4s and a 2.
No, perfect. So while Bob is sort of pressing the flesh and befriending everyone, you, Arthur, you're sort of watching as the crowd goes and like picking those little spots, darting in those little gaps, knowing what way the crowds are going and working your way through. And you make it through into the alleyway as well. You sort of get to the edge of the alleyway as Bob is sort of giving one last wave and a smile to some old gentleman from the village. How about for you, Andy?
Well, if it's okay with you,
I'm feeling very
I
kind
am
tonight.
going to try using my sort of observational skills to spot the quickest route by gut feeling, please.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than Andy's understanding of human behaviour within the geography, you're just looking for those moments like, yes, this is the time, this is the way, this is the thing. Just
This is the right lane to be in at the checkout. Yeah.
perfect. This is something that I don't have in real life. I always pick the worst lane.
Of course.
Not behind the 71-year-old organ player.
Exactly. He's got the elbows. Get behind him. Just follow him.
Although in this situation, it probably would have paid off.
I'd always
He's
say
just threatening people with work to make them go away.
exactly.
It works every time.
I'd always follow the Grumpy Scott. That's what I would do. Right. So you get sleuth. You get a D10 for being a postman. You get a D8 for sleuthing. D8, D6s for snooping. That comes under, and D4s for gut feeling, please.
Okay, so do I get 2d8s for my sleuthing?
If you've got two of them,
I have.
oh, there you go.
And 2d6s for snooping?
Oh my goodness, you've definitely you've min-maxed, I'd say.
Well, on this particular, yeah, it's worked out that way. So I get a 4, 2 6s, 2 8s, and a 10.
Oh,
Now watch this go horribly wrong.
Oh.
I have 2 1s.
oh, well,
One from one of the 8s and one from a d4.
perfect. So by you sort of following your gut and moving through, you're going to get a local trust. So give yourself a tick in the boon, and that's because there's a couple of sort of locals that are getting a bit stressed, and they see that you're moving well, and they sort of follow you,
Mhm.
and they sort of give you that nod as you sort of deposit them at the alleyway, you know, and they sort of like they sort of recognise you as the postman. They sort of give you a fist bump. At the time, like, yeah, that's good. Well done, Andy. Well done. Always knew you'd get us through. I'll tell you, postmen always know, don't they? Yeah, I told you we should follow him. So the three of you have made it to the alleyway, just off Riverside Way. Now, the alleyway is not the most beautiful alleyway. To one side, it's housing, just a couple of old houses. But to the other side, you have the side entrance to the Brewer's Tap, and you also have the small beer garden, which sounds suspiciously quiet, but you can't see it because it has a fence, a solid fence that's about a 7-foot high fence.
Mhm.
But you'd expect there to be good hubbub in there, but quiet.
Wow. Bob takes a notebook out of the breast pocket of his cardigan and a little pencil out of the top of the notebook. I guess here we are. Ready?
Yep.
Do you fancy giving old DCI Cornwall a bit of a shock and going in through the beer garden?
Well,
Only a
certainly,
7.
I think we should head down that
8 foot.
alley. But
8
yeah,
foot high
if
fence.
there's a gate into the beer garden, let's do it.
Ah, okay. So down the alley?
If we can go down the little alley that runs down the side of the Brewer's Tap,
Yeah.
and if there is a way to hook it, or even straight into the beer garden from Riverside Way, if that's an option.
Oh, I thought we were going in the back door of the Brewer's Tap.
So there'll be 3 ways in, I guess. You could go in through the beer garden. You can go in through the side of the Brewer's Tap, which will get you into a back door of Brewer's Tap. You've got a side door down the alleyway, or you've got the front door on the Rupes, the main road.
Well, I mean, the beer garden is the most direct, so let's do that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you open the gate into the beer garden. The beer garden has a few tables in. It's got scraggy grass that once grew happily has now lost its luster somewhat. There's large plant pots which have water in with discarded cigar ends, cigarette butts, cheroots, all forms of smoking. A few discarded vapes sort of piled up alongside it, and some sort of branded umbrellas, drinking outside umbrellas from the local brands, and a couple of European lagers, of course, as well. But it's empty except for a uniformed police officer standing by the back door of the Brewer's Tap, who sort of looks you up and down as you come in. Says, Brewer's Tap's closed, gentlemen. You'll need to find somewhere else to drink today? There's plenty of places.
We have been summoned by the DCI.
DCI Cornwall wants you. What are your names?
Well,
Oh.
surely you must know.
Yeah.
I'm Andy Lyon. I'm the local postie.
Andy Yes, I remember you. Shorts every day.
You must be thinking of someone else.
Maybe Gary Tigers. Okay, yeah, and I know you though, of course. Now I come to look at you properly. No one forgets Arthur McBride. How are you doing, Mr. McBride?
Very well, thank you. How are you? Sorry to. You have the advantage. What is your name?
My name? My name is William Conisby.
Oh, it's a pleasure, William.
Thank you very much. And I recognise Mr. Lewis, of course.
Of course.
My wife talks highly of your organ playing.
Thank you very much.
She says the way that you caress your organ is beyond compare.
Wow. Wow.
Arthur shoots.
That's
Shoots
very
Bobby.
funny.
Oh.
Now, I did hear that DCI Cornwall had called on some people to help in this situation. But Mr. Lyon, why did he call on you, if I may be so bold?
He hasn't told me, but my guess is it was because of my help in dealing with that rather unpleasant matter of the vandalism at the railway station.
Ah, that was you that gave us the lead on that. Fantastic. No wonder he's called on you. That was there was more to that than I think you knew, actually. How about you, Mr. McBride? Why, you're a wonderful man and all, but why this? Why do we need you today?
Well, he looks over his shoulders around the garden, just checking there's no one there. I don't like to draw too much attention to it. I like to give the hard-working police officers to get the credit. But I may have helped out with the retrieval of the quote of honor from St. Philip's Point when that went missing, and uncovering the black market for rare yarns.
That's before my time here, sir. But they do talk of. There is talk of such things at the station. There's is that you in the photograph proudly displaying the recovered goods?
Is it the legs wear a kilt?
They do, sir. I'm very similar to those legs. Now you mention it, I recognise those calves. Sturdy, like boughs of oak.
Indeed.
And you, Mr. Lewis, as much as your organ brings joy to women around the parish, why do we need your wily ways today?
Well, the reach of my influence is the extent of these villages, and really, I've been such a strong hand in so many discoveries in the criminal cases around here. I won't say that there's some sort of innate talent that I possess, but I do seem to find the culprit, and I'm sympathetic about it. I'm sympathetic to even this poor Morris dancer here, who I'm sure is a fine person otherwise. And that it leads to a certain openness of association for finding an unlikely culprit.
You start sagely nodding, and but you hear from inside. Conisby, are they here? So yes, sir, yes. Let them in. And Conisby moves aside from the back door of the Brewer's Tap and beckons the three of you in. DCI Cornwall, he's a bit stressed about this one, so apologies in advance.
Understandable. And Arthur will follow.
Same here. Yeah, I will follow in as soon as I hear the voice. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, as you head into the door, you're immediately greeted with a couple of other doorways. One that leads off to the right signals to the toilets and main bar. The one directly ahead, the door is open, and the door does have the word snug on it. And through there, you can indeed see what anyone would call, in the world of British pubs, a snug. A cosy-looking sidebar with some corner seating that looks very very pleasant. There's a fireplace, which, of course, at this time of year is not alight. And it's a building that looks like it's trying to be older than it is. The Brewer's Tap is nowhere near as old as the other pubs in Southbourne, and it's clearly trying to give itself some heritage. On the walls, there are old sketchings and paintings of hop pickers out in the fields. Of those massive baskets half full of hops of the Londoners sat with grimy skin and smiles on their face, eating apples and sandwiches and onions and drinking bottles of beer at the end of the day and so on. It's a lovely looking place, and on the tables there are a number of half finished plastic, because of the festival, plastic pint glasses full of a variety of ales, lagers, and stouts.
Okay. Well, so sort of take this in. Is the DCI in this room?
He is not. There is another door that is ajar ahead of you that says main bar, but it's just the three of you in this room.
Okay. Well, I never turned down a jar on a beer festival, so head in that direction, please.
Can before Arthur follows, can you just turn to the PC that let us in? Just say, I don't want to contaminate any evidence or crime scene. When you wouldn't mind, would you, and pass us in the leash for Thistle?
Yes. Very good, sir.
Especially if the DCI is in a bad mood already.
Now I need to make a roll. Hang on a sec.
Uh-oh.
He definitely doesn't.
Oh, don't you dare!
He definitely doesn't have a D6.
I love that dog.
He can have a D10, and he's got a D8.
It's good to know he's human.
And that's about it's dog hunt. He's not part of the dog unit, unfortunately. What does dog come under? Dog comes under farming. Oh no. Okay. As you hand it to him, the leash sort of slips through his fingers, and your beloved beagle Thistle scampers off. The gate is shut, so it scampers off around the beer garden. And PC Conisby is like, the last you see of him is like him sort of with arms out, going, "Here, boy, here, come, boy, come on, it's okay. Do you want a sausage, boy? Come on." And you feel secure that the gate is shut.
He's never touching him.
And that's what you see. Like,
this gives a strong whistle, and Thistle, find, and just sends him off like sniffing around the guy. He doesn't know what he's looking for, but
He's perfectly happy.
yeah.
And Conisbee's just left looking a bit confused and concerned, but he's out there, and the gate is shut, so hopefully all is well.
Better be.
Which leaves the three of you, I guess, so walking through into the main bar area. The main bar of the Brewer's Tap, as where you come through into the main bar, if you look to the left as you come in, so you're looking straight ahead as you come through the door. To the left as you look is the doorway into the alleyway.
Okay.
So the side of it. And at the far end of the bar from where you're looking up front and to the right somewhat is the main entrance.
Yep.
Because you're approaching from the back. To the left of you is the bar. The bar is goes along to the right side of you and then swings off at a right angle away from you.
Yep.
So it's like a corner bar. And in front of you, you've got a few tables, not too close to the door, of course, and then a corner seat to the left, far left. And then you've got around to the right, there's more tables and so on from what you can see from your position.
The sort of majority of the main bar.
Yeah, exactly. But here, there's some places here, and there's obviously some regulars would sit at this end and so on.
Yep.
And, but there is no one in the bar except for a besuited, official-looking gentleman and a young lady standing behind the bar. Another gentleman standing beside her, and a pair of feet, the ankles bedecked with sprays of bells around them.
Are they sticking out from behind the bar?
They are. As the bar takes its right angle to the right, they're just sort of out that corner.
Okay. So essentially,
Is there
sorry, the feet are the public side of the bar. They're not behind. They're not the staff side of the bar.
No, they're the drinkers.
But they're
side of the
around
bar.
the corner from where we're standing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Then I think before actually walking in, I will call out to the DCI. Inspector Cornwall.
Yes. You three, thank you for coming. Please, come in. Just mind your feet and don't touch anything, please.
Of course. She'll walk inside cautiously and approach him.
Wonderful. You will know the DCI to some extent. He is, if ever anything happens in Southbourne, which it rarely does, he is the point of attack, as it were. His name is DCI Alex Cornwall.
Mm-hmm.
He was born and raised locally. He doesn't live in Southbourne anymore. He's based at Raddlesbury, where the main police station is. It's just down the line. It's the next station, next stop down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But this is his regular beat when anything needs to be sorted out. He's in his early 50s. He's well presented, greying a little. No, most of his hair cut professionally as you'd expect. But he always seems to have a bit of stubble on his face,
Right.
As if he's not had time in the morning to shave himself properly. Maybe that's true, or maybe it's just a look he likes to have to make people think that he's working extra hard.
his girlfriend probably likes it, his wife doesn't.
Well, speaking as a man who entertains many women with his organ, I'm sure that Bob knows. Mr. McBride, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Lewis, thank you so much. I'm glad that you could you could join me today. As you can see, a very rum state of affairs. He sort of points down to the legs.
I will take a pace around until I can see the whole body.
Mm-hmm.
The legs are attached to a person.
They often are.
It's a good start.
Is it a person we recognize?
It is a person who you would recognise for sure, Bob. The other two,
Ooh.
I'd like you to make a roll, please. Could you please go for? We're going to go for church or committee. You can pick either one. So it's a D10, a D8 for villaging, a D6 for organising, and a D4 for church or committee.
Okie dokie. No.
You don't know him. You don't know him. Even as a postman, you don't know everyone on the beat, of course.
I'm not even a postman.
Oh no, not you. There's an angry Scotsman on an island.
You're mixing up Andy and do such a thing.
As an angry Scotsman on an island, you definitely don't know him. That's for sure.
That's fair.
Go on.
Makes sense.
D4. Okay. I get one of each.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Right. Okay. I have just one. It's on the D4.
Okay. You recognise him because you are a postman and he's on your beat. There you go. It all worked out well in the end.
Fair enough.
So, Arthur, I'll let you hear the information because you're about to find out anyway.
Mhm.
The other two do recognise him. It is a gentleman called Hugo Carstairs.
Carstairs.
Carstairs. Hugo Carstairs, as in a car.
Not as in.
Car with stairs in it.
Okay,
Flight of stairs.
cool.
Carstairs.
Okay.
Never known any cars to have stairs, but Carstairs. You would know him mostly, Bob, because he is a campanologist. He's a bell ringer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Ah.
Now, not necessarily within the Catholic Church, but you know the church.
I mean, they're a bit casual compared to organ players.
Yeah.
It's a respectable line of work.
Yeah. He rings the bells with just slightly less guilt, but other than that,
exactly. And you know him from your postal rounds. He lives in St. James.
okay. I will, as soon as I see him, I will say, "That's Carstairs."
Oh, he's rung his last bell. Oh dear.
Somebody rung his bell.
Hey.
I'm sorry, bells, cars, stairs. Sure.
He provides music from the church, just as I do. Just a little louder for more people.
DCI Cornwall nods. He says, "See, this is. I knew I'd called on the right people. Yes, he is indeed a campanologist, well known around town. He was, as you can see, he wasn't just here casually. Not many people dress like this through choice. He's a member of Southbourne Morris, a Morris dancing group that had just finished their performance behind Baker and Son. just to the north of here on the bank. A beautiful place for a performance. We have a number of Morris groups in the town today. They sort of do a circuit between 4 different spots. So they just finished behind Baker and Son, as we call it. From what we can tell, they'd come in here with their tankards for
Mhm.
a traditional to wet the whistle, as it were. They were going to head over to the back of Cafe Ole for the next for the spot there,
Okay.
and then they had another performance later that afternoon, and then they're done for the day. But it appears this was to be their last performance of the weekend,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
What happened? Witnesses?
Well, what we've gathered so far is the Brewers Tap, of course, was very, very, very full at the time, as the Southbourne Morris, from what we can gather, entered after their performance. There was a bit of an influx. There always is after the Morris performance, and
I need a drink after watching a nice performance as well.
indeed, indeed.
And before and during.
So do the dancers quite often. To be honest,
Yep.
to keep it going, it's like an agreed situation that alcohol is most definitely needed. We have a few main people we've been talking to. He nods to the young lady. This is Danny Livingston. She's a barmaid here. She served. She was serving the drinks. She was rushed off her feet, but she definitely served Mr. Carstairs and his group at least some of the drinks while they were here. And this gentleman is Lenny McDuffie. He's the landlord of the establishment. We do have someone else we're talking to but in sort of around the corner, out of the way. A gentleman called Nico Collins. He was he's a cricketer. He's come with the away team. They were going to play the Waltham Bridge team this afternoon. He'd come in for a pint with his teammates. He'd got talking to the deceased. The cameras, we've already looked at the cameras. It's very hard to see any details, but it was very full. But these were people that definitely had some form of communication with the deceased in that time, as well as his Morris group themselves.
Okay.
Did Collins say anything about what they talked about, or about the way that that Carstairs was behaving? Did he seem nervous or anything like that?
It's what we're discussing with him at the time. He seems a little bit shaken up. If you wish to talk to him some more, you're more than welcome to around the corner. We've mostly been settling him down at the moment. He's taken it quite badly, it seems.
Okay. And do we know a cause of death?
There's no stab wounds. There's no bullet wounds, and there's no sign of bruising or a struggle. I'd have to wait for the lab to come out. However, and this is part of the reason why I've called on the three of you today, he sort of looks a little bit sheepish for a moment. You see, I'm quite well known for boasting about my record here in Southbourne. I have a 100% success rate. I'm known as working quickly and accurately, and choosing my inside information well. This one's left me a little confused, but Rattlesbury, my boss and my colleagues would love to see me need the help. They've given me until sort of 9-10 o'clock tonight, about 8 hours away, to find a lead before they roll in, before it goes cold. They said, yeah, it's your case, but if you can't get it done by the end of the day, we're taking over. And I'm a bit stuck at the minute, and that's why I've called on you, really. They'll bring in everything. I've got the lab coming in the next in about 3 hours' time. I think they've got the full team are coming in. I've just been told to keep it all shut down. Start looking, but they're working on something out in the other direction, and it's the quickest we can get the lab bods in, as it were. So I've just been told to shut it all down until they get here.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Do you
mind if we take a look at the body?
You can, but he sort of almost magically pulls out a box from behind his hand with rubber gloves in. I'd rather you use these. No one's allergic to latex, I hope.
No, just Morris dancers.
Then it's good you'll be wearing the gloves.
Yeah.
do you have a time of death?
He sort of looks at his watch.
Going by the witnesses.
Yes. So now it's 1:30. It's 1:30 now. We've placed the time of death at 12:30, according to the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
The problem the problem was no one. We're trying to run the cameras back properly. I'm sure you can look at them if you speak to Lenny, and get an idea of exactly what happened. But there was a bit of coming and going. There was a parade that was happening out the front of the road, down the Rupes. There's sort of a big parade at that time, and a lot of people sort of rushed out at that time. So I need to have a proper look myself. But Lenny says, Mr. McDuffie says 12:30.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the others and say, the passing parade a coincidence or a distraction, you think?
That's some distraction. If it is, that's a lot of
The parades tend to be scheduled.
opportunity, or yeah, I can appreciate that.
I mean, they could just have taken, if they heard it coming, they could have just taken advantage of the fact that everyone's attention was elsewhere. If they were already planning to kill him. And, I mean, he was a Morris man. A sizable proportion of the people in this bar would have been planning to kill him.
And a bell ringer.
I find his dancing forgiving. Given the propensity for bells, it's a natural. I think we can give him one for this. Maybe others might not, but let's forgive him. Let the man rest.
It seems odd to me that
this is an unnatural death. I mean, natural causes for a Morris man is beaten to death by an angry mob. This is clearly not that.
That's true.
You got to remember, Bob, you work for a Catholic church. You believe in purgatory, and Morris dancing goes hand in hand with purgatory.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the common man. And just because my tastes happen to be more elevated doesn't mean that my friends and associates can't delve a bit and satisfy some unnatural urge. Bells aren't my favorite either.
Speaking of which, does anybody else notice that this particular individual used to ring bells with both their hands and their legs?
It's a fair point, though.
Just an observation. I'm not saying it's connected.
He solved it.
Right.
But it could be.
Yeah.
Phobia of bells, you say? I joke. He's clearly very, very talented with all of his appendages and ringing bells.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard some drunken stories from him say after Eve service a few years ago. Nothing you wouldn't expect. But nothing you'd repeat in the parish house.
Nothing we would repeat in polite company. I'm sure.
Okay, I'm going to walk around and, having put some gloves on, crouch down next to the body. Presumably he's wearing a Morris Dancer's costume.
He is. He's splendidly dressed, all in white. There's a tabard, of course, a white shirt, white trousers, neatly belted. Bells on his ankles. There's ribbons tied to the side of his trouser legs, and it looks like he probably had a nice straw hat with flowers upon it, but that seems to have been knocked skew and is on the floor a couple of feet away.
Okay.
Bob would examine the hat, but it can wait.
I was wondering if the trousers or the jacket had pockets.
They do. So the trousers the trousers have your usual standard front pockets and a back pocket, and under the tabard he's got sort of a white waistcoat which has a couple of pockets in there as well. So you're
Okay.
looking at 5 pockets in total, I'd say.
All right. I'm going to indicate that I'm going to reach inside the pockets and quickly check if there's anything in them.
I'm not going to make you roll for that because anyone can check in pockets. Most of the pockets don't. One of the pockets has his wallet in and a handful of coins, and a couple of sort of loose notes that have been seemingly thrust back in there.
Okay.
All crumpled, not with much care, not carefully put in the wallet. Another pocket has a scrap of paper in and a pencil.
Can I detect any unusual smell? I mean, obviously he's probably got hops draped all over him, but anything else that stands out?
Let's make a roll for this one.
Okay.
Could you please roll a sleuthing,
Yep.
a police work and evidence, please.
Okay, that means I just get my D10 and 2D8s.
Cool.
A 4, an 8, and a 1.
Ah, fantastic. The smell on him is of a very recognizable ale. One that you recognize, actually.
The same one I've been drinking?
It's not the one you've been drinking, but it's one that you would drink on a day when you're on more of a session. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yep.
It's called the Highwayman. It's an ale brewed by the Wolf and Bridge Brewers.
Okay. Yeah. So a session beer.
Yep, and he smells quite boozy. He would easily fail a breath test. There's no way he could be driving home at this point.
Fair enough.
Although it's the villages, and you know what it's like in English villages.
Sure.
Also, he's dead.
Exactly. Yeah. There is no tractor license either, so.
Yes, fair enough. I'm going to walk the paper over to the others and the police officer, and Cornwall if he's there, and show it to them as I unfold it or whatever and see what's on it.
Okay. What you find on the paper is there's scribblings on both sides. On one of the sides, you have the time schedule. From what you can tell from what the DCI said already.
Yep.
You have 12 Baker and Son, 1 Cafe Ole, 2 St Matthew's car park,
hmm
and 3 peddlers.
Okay.
Sorry, 4 peddlers. Yeah. So that, and so you know, so that's what's written on that side. On the other side, there seems to be a list of songs. You know, things like "Country Girls Delights" and
Yeah.
the drooping elderberry and
Yeah.
the fragrant lily
Yes. The
and
oak in May. The
yeah,
all the rest of it.
and there's a list of 6 names. One of them's his, each with. I'll give you the names actually, and then you can roll for if it means anything. Your names are, and this Hugo, Bill, Terence, David, Stephen, and Neil.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got Hugo, Bill, Terence, David, Stephen, and Neil. And could each
Okay.
of you please roll as let's go. Ooh. Villaging. Schmoozing. No, Villaging Organising Committee. Villaging Organising Committee, please, each of you.
Um, Luke,
Yes.
can Arthur possibly take a slightly different approach
How'd you
and
like to do it?
see if I don't know. He would like to see if any of the names have anything to do with. I'm assuming being well versed in folklore, he would have some understanding of the songs and their meaning, or and the general narrative of said songs,
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
and whether there's any tie-in with any of the names on the list.
So, what are you suggesting? Farming, relaxing, folklore. Farming,
Maybe. I
working,
mean,
and farming, working, crops and trees.
that's the tree, but I would probably, I think farming is probably a push. Maybe relaxing folklore, unless we have to go down the whole tree.
Yeah,
in which
go
case.
farm. Yeah, yeah. Well, you get a D8 for farming if you've got it. You get everything
What
above
was
it.
the original tree?
The original tree would have been villaging, organising committees for you. That's the one you'll
Okay.
take, I'd imagine. And
Uh-huh.
you can take farming, relaxing, folklore.
Thank you, Hannah.
I got all higher rolls. I didn't
Done.
even know it.
Nothing for you. It means nothing. This nonsense to you. It means absolutely. It's weird Protestant nonsense.
He never told me about any of these guys.
Nah.
No. I'm afraid I have a 2 and a 3.
A 2.
Now go.
No go. A 2 is the success, but
Yep.
of course,
No, 3s and 4s.
just 3s and 4s for
Even
you.
on my D10.
So the only one that gets close whatsoever is Andy.
Okay.
Mine wasn't a no, sorry. Mine was no. Please go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! Well, what did
I
you
did
get?
get 2 1s, a 2, and a 4.
Oh my!
Oh, fantastic.
goodness. Well, give yourself a boon because you know these things. You know. In fact, you trumpet, so we go straight to you. That's good.
Yep.
That's easy
Sorry.
for me to explain. I know. I like it. It is obviously, from what you can tell, the names, from what you've known, you know enough to know these seem to be next. They're clearly song names for Morris dancing. You've heard them spoken about before. They're all songs, and they are directions for who will do what within the dance, and who takes a lead, who will announce things. So it's pretty easy to suggest that those names are all members of the Morris group and how they will go about things. And it seems very much that Hugo is the big boss man, from what you can tell. He is the main man of the Morris group. And as you are proud with your knowledge of all things Morris, immediately marking you out as the next person that must be killed, We are going to end the stream there this evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. And then when next we meet, we will check out the hat.
Oh, and wear it, I hope.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Ugh.
Luke, for setting us this mystery. It's a mystery with bells on.
It certainly is.
Thank you, dear friends.
No,
You started well.
Oh, I am so invested in this.
Yeah, same here.
Ah, good stuff.
I'm desperate to find out, who killed this Morris dancer so I can thank him personally.
And buy him a glass of Highwayman's.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you, the three of you, and thank you, anyone that was watching tonight. We appreciate you as we try out
We
our
certainly
new little
do.
quirky adventure. Have a great rest of the weekend, all of you. We'll be back at some point next weekend. TBC, exactly when and what, but we'll keep you posted. Thank you, Spez. I think we're not. I think we're not streaming together again until probably looking at things maybe the new year. But can we get our villages in nice and early?
That would be lovely.
Whatever you want.
Perfect.
You just let me know.
Yeah, excellent.
Wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you for joining us, Sparrow. It's really very kind of you, and your patience earlier on this evening.
Yeah, so patient. Thank you.
Oh.
Really appreciate
And
it.
the rest of the evening as well, to be honest. Let's not get too specific.
Yes, putting up with us when we were playing as well as before we were playing.
I mean, I got to have my dinner. It came out of the oven as I got on this call. So, like, all right, yeah, I'll go have my pork chop and french fries. See you in a minute.
Cool. I'm glad it worked out. Okay.
Cool. Right. See you all soon.
Thanks.
Take care, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.